Welcome to L2P TV, where we give a fuck about gaming. Today we're talking about World of Warcraft. There's a lot going on. We got Mists of Pandaria. There's panda bears everywhere. Yeah, many mops.
Many mops.
Gene Simmons is coming on in.
Handle it.
We have that. We have the talent calculator for Mists is out. So we'll get to play with that short video. This is the dirty one.
Blizzard's... Oh, this is just the screenshots we gave you, and then the guys at WoW had decided to just
play with it. Yeah.
Hey, let's make a little JavaScript and get it all together. Like,
smart. We also have a special new segment, which we'll surprise for you soon, and a challenge. A really exciting challenge. Moment Hunters. So it's always fun.
Yeah.
So,
there's a fiddle in the middle, it's a middle with a fiddle, it's a middle and a fiddle and a fiddle in the middle.
World of Warcraft on the ballot today. Start us off, Johnny.
Alright, so because we've been on hiatus last couple of weeks, they announced at...
Gaming too much to talk about gaming?
Yeah!
That's hiatus.
No, I mean, there was some real life stuff in there, too.
Sure.
Jobs. Lack of jobs.
Homework, lack of jobs.
Yeah, playing the women when you're not playing World of Warcraft and vice versa.
Pretty much.
So, at BlizzCon, they announced Mists of Pandaria, the panda. Everybody was kind of like, oh man, please don't let it be pandas, please don't let it be pandas. And then, according to everybody who was actually there in the room, the minute they were like, everybody's sitting there crossing their fingers like, no pandas, no pandas, no pandas. And then the guy goes like this, the video starts playing, they see panda, everybody cheers like it never happened.
I'm still bitter that it's pandas. Couldn't it have been like cheetahs, giraffes, giraffe folk. Yo.
We need something taller than an upright troll.
Exactly. With the pointy hair.
We need something fatter than a tauren. No, I mean...
We could have went so many directions with a new race and we went panda people.
I'm going to give you 3 reasons for this. Reason number 1.
Number 1.
Pandaras are established in the lore. They are actually in the lore. They were in there before World of Warcraft was even a game.
Right.
Reason number 2.
Number 2.
You've already got the tauren.
Okay.
And the
cowfolk and
werewolves. But the standard for anthropomorphic animals has already been established.
10 points for anthropomorphic.
Why? Okay, if a cow with human features doesn't piss you off, but a panda does, it's a bear.
But it's a panda bear.
It's a black and white bear.
We're not in Grizzly Hills, we're in Pandaria. That's the difference.
3?
Number 3.
Chinese culture, kind of awesome.
Kind of, okay, I'll give it that. I don't love the pandas. I'm coming around with the pandas.
The pandas are Chinese, and the culture is Chinese.
I'm still a little pissed at the pandas, but the Chinese lore, the music, the architecture,
the cranes,
like everything.
I'm totally expecting that to be a Pandaren Hunter's level 1 pet. Right
as
there.
It should be.
Calling it the crane right now. Stone cold done.
I mean, we're getting into crane.
Not yet.
I hope not.
Aspect of the crane.
Ooh,
get there!
Sick.
Yeah, like they have enough aspects of the quote bird.
Yeah.
Aspect of the hawk, aspect of the dragon hawk. Raptors are technically birds.
This is me off. Aspect of the...
Which isn't, you would think like, oh, it's an upgraded hawk. No, it's not.
So we don't get just pandas. We get fighting pandas with monk powers.
Yes, the monk class. Another revolutionary thing. They're gonna... They don't have an auto attack.
They really don't?
No.
I didn't know that.
No auto attack. You have one button called jab. That is your auto attack. Think of it as your Sinister Strike.
Seriously, 1, 2?
No.
1, 3?
You have chi, which acts like energy or focus.
Yeah.
And then this punch costs chi.
Right.
This punch generates a light and a dark force. So, kind of like Paladin is holy power, except they get 2 sets. Certain abilities will cost either...
closer to runes. Since we have multiple.
It's like reverse runes. Instead of you spending them, you get them.
Right, you're getting them. Sure.
So you have these light and dark force, and abilities will cost either life force or dark force.
Or both?
Or both, or some combination of force and
2
shade.
in 1 or something.
Yeah, like...
Sure.
So what it effectively plays like is this sort of combo-style fighter where you're jab, jab, like, dragon punch as, like, your light force finishing move. It's gonna be true! No, but from what I've seen, it actually plays out pretty well.
Is there a video somewhere?
I don't think... there's one guy who, like, risked his life at BlizzCon, because they only had one playable demo at BlizzCon, where you could go the starting zone to, like, level 5 or 6.
Sure.
But it's like, it basically behaves like a rogue with combo points, except you have no white damage.
So I might like this.
Oh man,
it's
it
scary
looks
and new, but it sounds awesome.
You also get to roll forward, which is kind of awesome.
Cool. It's like almost sprint.
Almost sprint. It's got a much lower cooldown. Like, you can pretty much roll twice in a row.
Lower cooldown, not slower. Lower
No. I think it actually has no cooldown. But it costs like 50 chi.
They have like travel form.
So you like roll.
Amounts of time.
It's like roll, catch my breath while I'm walking. Roll, catch my breath while I'm walking.
Nice.
And rumor has it, now the Pandaren monk is not, it's going to be exclusive.
This is the dirtiest rumor. This sounds so cool if they do it.
Okay, well, I'm going to cover the rest of the info. Monk is pretty much every race except for goblins and worgen.
Yeah, new kids on the block. You ain't got a lot of hits now. Carry on.
So, with the Pandaren are basically teaching the monk to everyone else, and it gave people who were like, oh, well, the monk's really cool, but I'm not all about the pandas. It gives them a way to, you know, be able to experience the new class without actually going through the 1 to 10 panda zone.
It feels like one of these things. First of all, you want to go through the panda zone. It's new. New content is always exciting, even if it's bad.
But for the most part, like, for example, I went through when I straight up horde, like, rarely ever play Alliance.
Right, but you did the Worgen thing to...
But, you know, you go through the Worgen zone to do it, just to see it once.
I went through the Goblin starting zone up to level 5, and I hated it.
I hate that.
Through.
I'll be honest with you, if I had to pick between the two, I'd probably go with the Worgen starting zone every time.
As bad as it was.
No, the Goblin one was just so much worse.
Right, exactly.
Like, they tried to make it...
and everything were really awkward.
They tried to make it, like, really awesome and cool and exciting.
Steampunk-ish all over the place.
No, it was like Grand Theft Auto Steampunk. Like, but the way it wound up working was just like, oh, well, levels 1 to 5, I learned nothing about my class because I'm doing all vehicle-based missions.
Right.
Like,
if you're
a new player, I understand also that they made the Worgen and Goblin starting zones were to cater towards the more experienced crowd.
Which I don't think was smart.
If you're on the trial account, like most new players will be, you won't have access to any of that.
That's true.
You'll only have the original 4 races on each faction. So...
But if you pick it up and buy it...
Yeah, if you just straight out buy the whole game, like battle chest and all...
You're 13 years old.
You look at your mom and go, I want World of Warcraft for Christmas.
And you get it, yada yada. You're 13 years old.
Yes, you went
through the 17-day process of installing World of Warcraft.
10 to 17 days, depending on your system specs.
So it's January 12th. You're ready to play some fucking World of Warcraft. You are a 13-year-old kid. You know that while you're going through it, you're going, trolls are cool. Humans are kind of lame. This is a fantasy game.
Yeah, who plays humans?
Werewolves are awesome. Zombies are sweet. This is probably where you're at. Maybe you're thinking goblins are cool. You're not going to be a giant cow. You're not going to be a giant goat. You're not going to be any of these things.
Although the Blood Elves do fill that typical fantasy high elf role.
Sure.
Looking at them.
Sure, absolutely.
Now, when you understand the lore behind them and everything, totally off the wall. That's actually the Blood Elves.
Maybe it's just me, but I mean, I'd definitely be like, zombies are cool, werewolves are cool, trolls are cool, this big green Hulk-looking motherfucker's cool, right?
Yeah.
They very well might pick the werewolf. I picked the zombie just because zombies are sweet and werewolves.
I'd probably be inclined, if I did it all again starting now, probably would have to go with the warrior.
Right.
Because the only reason I played a Tauren Druid when I first started playing was because that was the only race you could do it with. Yeah. And I didn't want to be a pansy elf.
Sure. We had good times playing those pansy elves, though.
Catamurk.
Yeah, that's funny shit.
But
you're going to see a lot of new players just picking up Werewolf.
Yeah.
And it's an
so
awkward
that was their major problem. They catered the starting zone much more to the crowd that actually I feel like the 1 to 5 for Worgen was very tight knit and actually taught you a lot about like it gave you excellent hints to both the backstory of the Worgen themselves
and how to play your class,
as well as being able to work in, your class mechanics and the game mechanics into the storyline that they're fighting through.
Right.
Whereas the Goblin starting zone, it was just like vehicle festival.
Yeah, just go over the place.
Let's give you a car and Grand Theft Auto.
I played that with a frame rate of about 4. This is before I got my new laptop. And I'm going through the vehicle quest, laggy as all hell, going down the windy roads.
Oh my god, it's...
I wanted to kill myself. It was the worst
I'll tell you this much,
experience of my life.
Blizzard got one thing right. They want to emulate Grand Theft Auto. They got the car controls spot on.
Yeah. I like the car controls in Grand Theft Auto. They're solid.
They're very floaty.
They're floaty, but they work.
They're very floaty.
A lot better than that did. I don't like vehicles in WoW here. But
no, there are some vehicles in WoW that actually do behave well.
I've never driven.
Vehicles that aren't vehicles.
I like mouse.
No, like where it technically counts as a vehicle, but like you're either like in a cannon or like you're on the back of a dragon or something like that.
Oh yeah, when you're the gunner, everything's smooth.
Yeah, or like no, not like even that. Like when you're on this dragon that has like these 3 abilities where it can just like fire breath things. Like that behaves a lot better than when you're like car.
In a car, yeah, the car's just up.
Especially with the whole jumping.
Mists of Pandaria because it is 1:45, and I want to start gaming at 2 o'clock. So.
Holy shit.
So I gotta love my shop.
Alright, well anyway, Mists of Pandaria, you get to be the monk with all the other races getting in on the action.
Yeah.
And the monk has 3 specializations, as does every class. Tanking, or brewmaster.
It's definitely drunken master, which is just the great.
Yeah, it's just like total Jackie Chan drunken master.
Who doesn't love Jackie Chan being a tank? Or Jackie Chan singing the song from Mulan in Chinese. If you haven't seen it, do it. Impossible!
I think it's the Mistweaver is the healer spec.
Yeah.
And something Walker.
Windwalker?
Maybe.
Or it's
Windweaver and Mistwalker. I don't know.
It's all the same. Yeah,
it's Mist, Wind, and something.
Weaving and walking.
Brewing. But anyway, the rumor has it is that it's sort of going to behave like warrior stances or druid forms, where like you kind of shift into your healing form or your tanking form, not stance.
Right.
But it behaves like martial arts.
You're not going bear or cat.
It behaves like martial arts stances.
Right.
Where like you'll go like this, and then you're just like this. But you go like brewmaster or whatever. I wish they would change the animation like that. Where it's just like you click the stance, like you're like this straight up. Click the stance, you're just like this.
I really hope
and you're just like
That'd be pretty exciting.
Like that would be awesome.
I feel like they won't do that.
It won't.
It's not micromanagement, but it'd be sweet.
Did you know that the Pandarans? What are you doing?
Getting your water. Carry on.
Did you know that the Pandarans in their facial structures, they have like I think somewhere in the neighborhood of like 10 times the bones or points of articulation that the other races have? Well, their talk emote is the longest emote in the game. It's even longer than like it can go on longer than some dances.
Wow. It put a lot of creative time into that.
No, because it's just like this. It's just, talking and talking and talking. And I'm sure there's like a speech to go with that.
Oh, there has to.
But, so, one of the coolest rumors I heard about...
This is awesome!
Okay, apparently when the monk shifts into his healing stance, he gets a mana bar. Kind of weak. It's like energy-based healer.
I'll take it.
Energy-based healer would have been nice, though.
I guess that works.
But I mean,
from a storyline perspective, because you're giving them your energy.
But
keep moving.
But I think gear-wise, it would make more sense for them to just give them a mana bar and make them compete for resto druid gear.
Show my age. I was like, yeah, give them like MP5.
That's not the spirit. No, but I think gameplay-wise, it makes more sense to just throw them a mana bar and lump them in with
work like
Presto
everybody
Druid.
else. Sure.
Like, instead of making, like, rogues, feral druids, and all of monks competing for the agility gear.
Dude, being a rogue is a really hard life.
Who do you have to fight with? The druid? Really?
Not the
There's
druid.
no cat druid.
It's not the druid.
Not anymore.
It's the druid's not the problem. It's the fact that druid leather exists that is the problem.
Yeah, because all of your leather drops are now automatically...
More druid leather drops.
But I've noticed just how dependent some classes are on, like, alright, I play a claw thief. I'm competing for every piece of gear with every other claw thief.
Yeah, easily.
Badge gear.
That's why there's so much claw floating around.
Oh, yeah.
That's a conversation for another thing. I could write for hours.
No, but apparently... Okay, so you shift into your healing stance as a monk. And apparently your monk roll ability now costs mana, and rumor has it they're thinking of making it heal whoever you run through while you're rolling. Could you just imagine,
what
like...
that does to the game?
I would just roll all down.
Stop and think about that. Think about what that does to the game. It makes physical contact with another player matter.
More than it already does in PvP.
How so?
You're a rogue. You have to be like this.
Right, but that's not physical contact. I can
all it is, it's the same thing as auto-attacking. It interacts with the hitbox.
Right, but the fact that you are having positive effects on
AoE heals. It's the same. It's the same technology.
It's different technology because if they have it being actually running through them, it takes it from this to yo bro. You see what I mean? Where it takes the heal from going to literally healing touch being healing touch.
Okay, here's what I mean by that. Like from a technology standpoint.
Right. It's still if you get within this range.
Yeah, it's still like alright, this is the character's hitbox. If my healing ring is in this box, and the hitbox is within that guy gets the heal.
But if they make it so you have to physically roll through them...
If my hitbox interacts with your hitbox at all.
Right.
So, but, freaking mind-blowing. It also gives you, because of the fact that monks can roll sideways and backwards, too, they don't just roll forward.
Right, so you can go... And I'm assuming if you can roll in every direction, you can use...
I don't think you can roll diagonal.
Really?
I don't know. I think that might be a little awkward.
It's a weird thing. Nah, it's the same as running diagonal. Just roll E.
Well, okay, I think actually, yeah, if you're like WE and you're just like sideways running forward, if you roll, I think it will carry your momentum.
Right, it should.
It might. I don't know. But that's one of those things where you got to get in there and tinker with it. But the concept of that opens up the idea of, guy in melee range just got cleaved, launched over my head, and is almost dead. Oh shit. Heal, roll back, through the guy, heal again.
That's neat.
And it also gives, okay, everybody stack up. Find that monk, just roll right into the party and just heal everybody. That is what I'm excited about. The possibility.
We're changing dynamics right now. We're changing what is possible with anything.
I mean, this priest, for example, disciplined priests are already encouraged to be able to use Smite as a healing spell.
Right.
Smite is their main nuke.
Right.
So if you have a healing character where they can either heal or they can jab and generate a life force, right? It's like paladins with judgment.
Yeah.
Where you can just
same
jab,
concept where you come in, get them, generate the healing power. That'd be a fun way to do it.
And you also drop totems on the ground. There's another mechanic where it's called the Jade.
Totems too?
It's called the Jade Idol or something like that. You can drop up to 3 of them on the ground, and it heals party members for however much damage you're doing.
So you get, was it water stream totems?
Healing stream.
Healing stream.
Sort of. But it's based on how much damage you're doing. And they don't go away after a certain amount of healing. It's a time-based thing.
Yeah.
So you just plop one in melee, plop one by the range.
Beat when your HUD goes off there.
Yeah. And you can have up to 3 active. So, like, off tank's over there, plop one with off tank, plop one with melee, plop one with the range.
And then get in there and beat face.
And then get in there, beat face, and if there's like a mechanic where you gotta get out of the way, just roll back.
This roll seems busted.
It does!
Seems
especially in a healing roll. If you're in a healing roll, and it costs mana, like the chi, they can kind of manage it a little bit with the energy. Because you can only do it twice in a row.
Yeah.
And I would just love for this thing to be healing spell. Please, Blizzard, keep that idea. That idea is amazing.
Please, Blizzard, be watching this and actually caring what we're saying.
Yes, please!
About. We're going to edit that. It's going to have about.
A boot?
What you caring about?
What you caring about? So, that covers up the primary news from Mists of Pandaria. We'll be covering the other major change coming in the last segment of today's show.
And also, we will be gushing really, really hard in the near future as more information is leaked about SM Heroic. Which just...
Scarlet Monastery on Heroic!
Is one of my favorite instances ever.
Havard?
Yeah.
I just want, like, Herod's shoulder plate. Epic level 90 item, Herod's shoulder plate.
Look at it.
As a plate item.
That's gotta be plate.
Because SM Armory is like level 30s, and it's actually melee at that point, but it's designed for warriors and paladins.
Yeah. Alright, fair.
So it should be plate. They should upgrade that plate. Instead of being, oh, this is now a hunter item. Hunters get stuff in there. It's called leather.
Hunters get all the love. Not right.
And we've got a segment about hunters, too.
Oh, wonderful segue.
So, without further ado, Sean...
Alright.
Take it away.
We were chatting the other night on Ben, and I don't even remember what we were talking about. Horseborn and Gargamel, was that the same night?
I think it was the...
Somehow the vent chat was talking about weird animal...
You're bad.
I'm bad.
What is that?
I don't know, we're rolling the hunter.
Oh, we're doing the hunter. We're going straight into my challenge.
That was a perfect segue.
Alright, fine then.
So, we're talking about awkward Washington state laws about sex with animals. And Gargamel. If you don't know who Gargamel is, you're too young to be watching the show. Also, there's Google.
Or you've lived under the rock.
The Fraggle Rock? If you don't get that one, you're still too old. You're still too young to watch the show.
You're either too young or you've been living under the Fraggle Rock.
Under the Fraggle Rock. Down in Fraggle Rock. So, somehow, it came up that he was leveling a hunter. And somehow this, I don't even remember how this challenge is proved. But the challenge is wonderful.
It basically...
He's leveling a rogue from 10 because he wants the trainer at 10.
Hunter.
Or a hunter. I got rogue on the brain.
I'm leveling a hunter.
From 1 to 85. Without visiting the trainer past level 10. Or spending any talent points in his tree or the pet's tree. So he's off dual wield. He's off mail. He's off concussive shot.
No, I get concussive shot at like level 4. You get it at 4.
What is an aim shot? Steady shot?
The 4
shot, black arrow, wing clip, raptor strike.
No, okay, here's what you get. Here's what you actually get, because this is a much shorter list. As part of this challenge, you can... now, we specified that I could pick a talent tree. I could pick a specialization, because you can actually pick a specialization without spending a single
and then
point.
He can go and do randoms and get left after taking leather past 45.
Because you can't get into a random dungeon group if you don't have a specialization. So that's completely legit. So, I have, in order of where it sits on my action bar, because this is all I've had to work with, Arcane Shot, Concussive Shot, Serpent Sting, Steady Shot, Kill Command, and Intimidate, because I want Beast Mastery.
That's it, folks. Now, granted, that's most of the level 85 rotation.
For Beast Mastery, yes.
For Beast Mastery.
And if you're a Marksman Hunter, substitute Concussive Shot for the ready, or Aim Shot.
Aim Shot.
Yeah. See, I don't know any of this. I don't know anything about... I'm a level 30 at this point. I know nothing about Hunters because I haven't picked up any of the skills. So here's a little preview of my wonderful Hunter Man.
This is so good.
So there's his talent tree with a whopping 0 points spent in anything.
You have what? 11?
I have 11 unspent talent points currently. And here he is, Kessig, the level 29 Hunter, as a nod to the magic.
And he has these BOAs, but it doesn't matter, because the way that we set this up is it's not about the speed of doing it, because he's not allowed help. You know, there's so many restrictions.
I'm not allowed dungeon runs from guildies.
You're not allowed, oh guys, I can't finish this quest. I need you guys to come do this quest.
I thought group quests I could.
Right, if it's a group quest like the ones in Northrend, where you gotta fight the dragon, the bone dragon.
Or like the
that
arena
you can't
stuff,
possibly beat.
where it's like requires 5 players.
Right. If it's a group quest, sure. Anything else come to me for review and we'll talk it out.
I've got a quest in South Shore that I need 3 players for.
I'll come down and just do it.
Okay.
I told you, I'm willing to help you, because this isn't about not having you do it. I want you to do it.
This isn't about the speed.
It's $40, whatever.
And I did this actually to prove 2 points.
That is possible.
Point number 1, that it's possible. And point number 2, Blizzard's not killing WoW with the talent system overhaul. We'll get to that in a minute. But everybody's like, oh man, they're taking all the choice out of it. Well, what if you give me no choice?
I love how you thought of that after the challenge was accepted. Just challenge accepted. Why is it accepted?
Challenge accepted. Why is
Why am I doing this besides $40?
The good news about me being allowed to have BOAs, though, is that the BOAs I do have are leather. I never got male BOAs for this hunt.
Right, so they'll ride you all the way.
So they will ride me straight through to 80. And also, as another point of fine contention, yes, this is the Resto Druid BOA helmet.
I like your intellects and spirits, bro.
Don't worry, my belt also has intellect and spirit. You know what this was? This was a gift from the gods of useless satchels.
Oh, the satchel of useless shit?
Yes. I was like, oh man, this thing's got a lot of stamina.
Don't feel bad, my 85 Rogue has a leather druid blue shoulder that I bought off the auction house.
I got 1 ring.
Because my item level was 345, and I needed it to be 346.
And this is just the guild tabard, because I like having guild robe. It's useful. But here he is in all of his undead glory. So that's the useful thing about the BOAs. Chest, head, and shoulders. Already taken care of.
Why is it that every time somebody goes head and shoulders, I just can't not think knees and toes, knees and toes? Fuck!
I was thinking dandruff shampoo. That just shows you where are my knees and toes, knees and toes. But honestly, I do believe that this challenge, if it is completed, when it is completed, will probably lead to more challenges, because I need
a challenge to get my money back after you do that.
Across all realms, I've only got about 12 to 15 slots full. That leaves a lot of room for challenge.
There's a lot of play now.
Because I'm at this point, I've got 285s, I've got 84, I've got my Death Knight who I'm currently leveling, and then I'm going to have Panda Shenanigans. I'm going to have like 485s by the time this expansion's up.
Hope so.
585s?
I'm working on 2 and 3 right now, simultaneously.
That's the way to do it, because you work on one until the resting goes out, and then you work on another one until the resting goes out.
We're racing again?
This one, I'm just steamrolling. Screw rested XP. I'm steamrolling. I've got 4 BOAs on. I don't really need
just go crazy.
I've got an extra 35%, because the cloak gives 5, the others give 10.
Nice.
So I'm like, 35% XP.
That's a ton of extra XP.
I literally completed 3 quests. I started playing as level 5. I completed 3 quests. I was level 8.
Solid. That explains why you're leveling so fast. So I'm sitting there going, how are you 30?
And also,
BOA.
And also, I walk into a zone that's appropriate for my level. I do it until I get the zone achievement.
And then roll. Yeah, that's the best way to level anyway.
Which means that I'm getting all these quests when they're green, so they're easy as hell.
Yeah.
I can pull like 3 guys at once, and it's not an issue.
I love some green quests.
So I just like send my pet after one, pull one, concussive shot him, start wailing on a third.
Right, and then everything's done before it gets to you.
Yeah.
That's how it feels to be a shaman. It's so disgusting.
There's like fire elements.
As someone who plays a rogue.
Oh, you get the spirit wolf.
Habitually. Not yet, I don't.
Not dying is a nice feeling?
No, it's not even not dying. It's the fact that I can never die ever.
Alright, quick aside. We're trying to get him some gear. So we run random heroics for Cataclysm. We get Throne of Tides. Oh, no, wait, this was on normal mode.
Yeah, this is the first time I run Throne of Tides. Yeah.
I'm tanking on my power.
Purifying the waters.
Their filthiness, it stings me.
Break yourself upon my water.
I've
been purified with the waters.
This expansion cracks me up with the voice acting. Bring back Thoralion.
Thoralion! Yes! It's fabulous!
I will engulf it, I believe. So, we're running through the tides. We get past the first boss. He dies because he doesn't know how to not stand in anything.
That's simply not true.
No, it's just by the time you notice your health actually going down from it, you're like way dead at that point.
Yeah.
It's already too late. Like, by the time you notice that you're even in anything, you're already dead from it.
Usually. But I'm melee DPS. Like, there's only so much to be said, or so much to be done.
So, we get through the first boss, we go out back through the tunnel to the second boss, which is just the faceless one that does the ground slam. No, this was on heroic. Because in normal mode, when he does the dark fissure, it goes away after a while.
Yeah.
In heroic...
Oh, the room purple! Oh, God!
In heroic mode, the void zone actually grows over time. I didn't know this, because I never tanked the instance before. I've always been a healer, through and through.
Yeah.
Healed on my druid, healed on my paladin, DPS on my mage. Never knew how to position the boss. So...
Alright, do your point of view, and I will do my point of view.
So, he goes for the first dark fish. I know if I get hit by the ground slam, I'm dead. So, I wait for him, he channels, bam, slam on the ground, I move, just before the slam comes down. Big purple spot in the middle of the room. So, I'm kiting, I kite him off to the side to give out all the melee, because we had 2 melee. I think we had 2 rogues, actually. I give both rogues an opportunity, no. Yeah,
no, it doesn't got him.
So...
No, he was playing it.
It was Hunter.
No, it was the second rogue. Because that was the same run where I'm going, man, 10 stacks of deadly poison and double fan of knives looks awesome.
No.
That was that run.
Yeah, that was that run, but he had to leave and we got replaced with the Hunter.
During this fight,
the room of purple happened with the Hunter.
No, the room of purple happened with the...
No, because I got slammed by Dark Fissure.
Right,
first pull, I get slammed by Dark Fissure. Second pull, I know to get out of the way. So I reposition the boss in such a way that Shaun can DPS from behind. So guy goes, second fissure. The first one is almost to where the second one starts.
Right, but it's no problem.
Not a problem.
It wasn't until we got into 3 and 4
I kite him further out. It's sort of like a pinwheel almost.
Yeah.
So I'm cutting him out. Third one hits. The first one is almost to where the third one was. So I'm running in a giant circle trying to kite this boss away from all the purple that's filling the room. Fourth one goes down. Boom! The first one is almost by the edge of the room. So...
Long story short, from the melee DPS perspective...
I box you in at some point.
I just started seeing this. I have no way out. I'm surrounded by Void Zone all around me. If you were a
mage, you could have survived.
I could have maybe sprinted through.
No,
I probably wouldn't have got there. Yeah, but I might have been able to sprint.
Mage, you just blink out of
it. But it's not worth it at that point. I'm DPS, the guy's at like 10%. I'm just going at it. You know, whatnot.
Fuck.
It's just going and going and racing. It's going the distance. It's going for speed. I'm about here. If you can see this. I'm directly in the center of the circle. And it's just closing and closing. And then I died. And not my fault.
No, it was really funny because we had like the third one and the first one were like encroaching on you, like camera. And then like there's a fifth one that just gets placed right at the choke point.
That was a testament to my movement ability. Because I should have died about 6 times. I kept standing in the cracks. Just fucking taking
Eventually it gets to the point where the entire room is filled up by the first fissure.
Then I died.
I have kited the boss, into the other boss's room. The hunter's just sitting in the middle of the other boss's room, just going at it. Pet's dead by now from the fissure.
Long dead.
Both pets, Warlock and Hunter Pet.
End of the fight, our guildmate over just goes, you know, you're kind of supposed to kite him, like, around the outside of the room. And you're just like, square, dead. Quick aside to the aside.
Yes.
Blizzard vote to kick policy. I think I told you this story. I had something very upsetting to me happen the other day. We were in SFK. It was during, I don't know, whatever boss fight in there has some type of void zone. Yes, in the drawer. There's some type of void zone or slime or some shit that you're not supposed to stand in.
What, Heroic Shadowfang?
Yeah. And the pally in our group, the rep pally DPS, dies. And
I'll get there eventually.
And I get whispered, vote to kick pally, we can't. I don't respond. So then in party chat, they go, Rogue, kick the pally. And the pally goes,
how about Rogue?
Why you hate me?
Rogue, we're in the water.
That side, second door down.
Empty.
Empty, then I'm out of water. I'm out of the waters.
Fun.
Yeah, sure. So he goes, why you hating? They go, well, you're not doing enough DPS and you just died from standing that. Kind of an elitist jerk attitude.
Considering the amount of shit
for
you're
a
standing.
5-man, right?
Oh yeah, completely.
So he just leaves on his own accord.
What, the paladin?
Which was nice, instead of being a bitch about it and starting an argument that he's not about. So they said to me, well, why didn't you kick the paladin? And I said he was doing fine.
It's on cooldown.
It's a random heroic. And he died once. Next thing I know, I'm kicked. That's a problem. I got kicked because I wouldn't kick the guy they wanted to kick. It needs to be 4 out of 5 vote to kick. Because that was an injustice.
Well, no. Did a 5th DPS?
Yeah, somebody else showed up.
Somebody else showed up before you got kicked?
No, I'm sure somebody else showed up.
No. I'm saying, like,
I guess at that point it's unanimous.
3 out of 4, yeah. At that point, it's 3 out of 4.
I just think that's a serious problem, and the system needs to be fixed so things like that don't happen. There was just this pack mentality all of a sudden, where it's you don't agree, you can be out of the group too. When I was second on the DPS chart. So I was putting in work.
I don't know, I just... Like there was a situation, like, earlier today, even, where, like, there was this mage. He was just
a mage.
He was just screwing everything he could physically screw up. Mm-hmm. The only thing he wasn't doing was dying.
Right.
And, like, we're always like, oh, well, mage pulls everything. Vote to kick. Well, he's being an idiot, but he's not screwing me up that badly. I'm yelling because he doesn't know his rotation at all. He's level 65. He doesn't know a damn thing about Frost. Your AoE pulls do not consist of you doing Frost Nova ever.
Right.
Frost Nova is an oops, I did something wrong maneuver. And then, like, to have him
but,
just,
like, little fuck-ups and pugs are not reasons to kick. It's a pug. It's not.
Well, that's because everybody's so overgeared at this point.
Yeah.
That they're just like, oh, well, we can just find someone else.
That's a damn crying shame.
I don't need you.
The game stops becoming fun.
That's
not fun to me. Playing a game where everybody takes it seriously, that's why I dropped out of that guild that I was in. I was in a guild with, like, 3,000 players. It was
like 800.
No, it was
guild caps at 1,000.
Yeah, it was legitimately like 900. But it was massive. We have a massive guild. Massive guild. And they got multiple raid groups running every night. They run the PvP on the server. Like, it's no joke.
I don't know about that, because I know another trade check guild that's probably better.
Sure. But, like, they're this super insane guild, but I just couldn't be a part of it. It was just one of those, like, you know, ask for item level before they invite you on a run.
And you're a guild, yeah.
And you're, like, it just gets
Nothing bothers me more than asking, like, post-achievement.
Yeah.
To guildies.
Problem.
Ugh!
Why are you in a guild if it's not to have fun?
Or if you don't trust anyone else in the guild.
Like,
I understand, at 900 people, you gotta be selective because you don't know everybody.
Yeah.
But, like, put yourself out there. See who gathers to you.
Right.
Don't sit there and just be like, oh, post achieve.
Yeah, but it was awkward, it was cliquey, and it was too goddamn serious.
I was in the same guild as Racer X. He's not that bad of a dick.
That's why you just don't piss him off, or he's gonna piss on you. If you're watching, I'm sorry, that was the worst impression of you ever.
No,
that's
but
what
he's
you get from the city boy. But
no, he's actually not that bad of a guy.
Oh, I'm sure he's not. Like
99% bad rap.
I've listened to the recordings.
That's not supposed to be on YouTube.
I didn't say I listened to it on YouTube. I listened to the recordings, and the clips that I got, what he was saying was pretty legit. If you treat me like an asshole, I'm going to treat you like an asshole. That's my fucking motto. That's perfect.
I agree completely with the.
And the guy had no right
to
post this shit. Like, that's just not okay.
Now, if you're sitting there going, "Do not post this," and somebody posts it,
you're an asshole.
You recorded me telling you not to record it. That's like you automatically lose any and all lawsuits I can bring against you.
That's bad. That's definitely bad. Which brings us to our new segment, Why You're Bad. Take it away, Chip.
Thanks, Sean. This is Chip Sputsky here from the newsroom, here for our first ever segment of Why You're Bad. So, we have notes here, and it's actually pretty plain to see. Well, it seems that you're standing in the fire. You're standing in front of, behind, or somehow on top of the dragon. How does one even stand on top of the dragon? Jesus Christ. Charlie, where do you find these guys? You're standing in the void zones. This includes fire, acid, hockey pucks, black shit, blue shit, red shit, green shit. Any shit that is not the floor. You're not breaking yourself on Osric's body. You're not clarifying the waters. You're clearly not beating the Black Dragonfly. Thanks to you, the Lich King was elected to a second term. How does that even happen? You don't know your rotation. You're kicking people out of groups for stupid, stupid reasons. Jesus Christ, WoW players. Why are you so bad? You're picking warlocks. In surmise today, ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, I'm not fooled, what you're going to do today, and this week until we see you next time, is learn to stand. Because you don't know where to stand. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand on the floor, not in any void zones. We're going to stand on the side of the dragon and continue the DPS. Sean and Charlie, thank you very much. It's been Chip Sputsky from the newsroom telling you why you're bad. Back to you folks.
Thank you, Chip. That was very enlightening and actually made me feel worse about that Throne of Diatron. Thank you very much. So I feel bad. Do you feel bad?
I feel miserable.
You know what makes people feel
I
good?
am so, like, I'm so out of it right now from that real, like, pounding he gave us.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm bad and I should feel bad. But you know what's good and will make you feel good? New talent calculator, wow.
Awesome!
I swear we didn't rehearse that. As perfect as that was.
No, that was not
rehearsed at all. That's the beauty of the rendering. Alright, so the way that the new talent system works is you're going to get a point at 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, and 90. For those of you who can't keep up with the quicks, ruined. Anyway.
For those of you who can't keep up with Sean's voice.
Sorry, with the quick Philly swagger. Sorry. Little late. That's 15, level 30, level 45, level 60, 75, and 90. So every 15 levels.
By the way, something we forgot to cover, Mists of Pandaria will be raising the cap to 90.
Right.
Just if that confuses anyone.
So for each of these 15 levels, or each time you get 15 levels, you get this point. And for each point, you have one of three choices. 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, 3. Get out of here. So we're going to kind of play with the rogue one. Have you actually gone through this?
I haven't gone through the rogue one.
But you've gone through the system. See, I haven't touched the system yet. I wanted to save it for this. Kind of do it live. I don't know if it's going to be that amazing because you won't be able to see it. But We'll post a link to it.
I'll try
in
to
the
read all
comments.
as much as I can. Yeah.
Right. We'll post a link in the comments so you can kind of follow along.
So the gist of this is that when you have this choice, you only have 3 abilities to pick from within that choice. Once you pick an ability, you cannot pick any of the others for any reason. You can't go back. None of that.
Right. So
also,
you can reroll.
Yeah,
you can reroll as normal.
Actually, you reroll a little bit easier. Apparently, it's going to be as easy as switching out the list.
Right, but you can't go, okay, well, I don't want Deadly Throw, Nerve Strike, or Combat Readiness at level 30. I'd rather have Night Stalker and Shadow Focus.
You can't do that. So
it's 1 per row exclusively.
So, but the good news here is that each section kind of has a theme to it.
Right.
There's a mage one that is exclusively all about which area of effect crowd control ability do you want.
Right, you want the one that's the AoE.
You want Ring of Frost, Cone of Cold, or Cold Snap. I think it's Cold Snap.
Cone of Cold. I love
the Ring. The Ring is awesome.
Fair. When I was trying to level a mage, so is that.
No, for the last one in Grimmatal, you want Cone of Cold. For the last one in Blackrock Caverns, you want Ring of Frost for the edge.
Alright, so since they do this, I have no clue what any of this does. That's my heater. We're going to speak louder for the heater.
Yes, heater!
Heat! It's winter! Alright, so
Tier 1 row. You get Night Stalker. Increase your speed while stealth by 20%.
I already want that one. But let's go on to the thing.
Subterfuge. Your stealth breaks 3 seconds after dealing damage rather than doing so immediately.
That's very good also.
Or Shadow Focus. Abilities no longer cost energy while stealth.
What do I pick? Oh my god! See, I thought this was going to be easy. Alright,
okay, so the goal of this system is tough choices where situational...
With huge impact.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're level 90, so we're endgame? Not knowing
obvious tricks for PvP, subterfuge.
Right, agree. However, if we are endgame, I want Shadow Focus.
Yes.
I want to conserve my energy. So let's go that we're going for an endgame DPS focus, as opposed to the endgame healing.
Yeah, endgame.
So
endgame PvP DPS, what Shadow Focus?
Right, we're going
I would think leveling though, Night Stalker would probably be a little bit more important because it lets you get in and out of areas faster to be able to
make your sprint cooldown slightly less abused. So we'll pick
Shadow Focus.
So at this point, to review, attacks while stealth costs no energy. 3 ambushes.
Now note, I click on Shadow Focus, so I pick that point. If I go to click on Subterfuge, it switches. Next one, Deadly Throw. Finishing move that interrupts spellcasting and reduces movement speed of the target by 50% for 6 seconds. Damage dealt based on combo points.
Nothing new. I never used Deadly Throw. Never have, so I probably won't be making that bit.
Nerve Strike. Successful kidney shot or cheap shot also reduces the damage dealt by the target by 50% for 6 seconds after the effect.
That's the leveling thing. Easily that's the leveling.
Oh yeah.
And combat readiness, it hasn't changed.
Enter a state into a heightened awareness, deflecting enemy weapon strikes with increasing effectiveness.
Right.
Contestable attacks will deal 10 less damage per application, sticking 5 times.
I feel like none of these are actually very relevant for the endgame. I think if I had to pick one, I might take Nerve Strike, but I don't really use those abilities in the endgame. It might be Deadly Throw for the extra kick.
Deadly Throw for the extra kick is... See, but here's the thing. All these abilities affect your ability to take damage.
Right. Absolutely.
So, like, that's the theme of this tier, whereas the first tier was all about stealth.
Right.
This is all about your ability to deflect damage. I think endgame, Deadly Throw...
Endgame, I like the Deadly Throw just for the kick.
Combat readiness...
I use combat readiness while leveling all the time. Also. Combat readiness plus... what is it? It's combat readiness...
See, I don't know rogues, like... Kidney shot or cheap shot? Are they combo?
I use kidney shot a lot. Yeah, kidney shot does. Or
so that may be useful. It's like open.
Kidney shot is 2 points stun them for 2 seconds.
That may be a useful opener. Like,
and that's.
Oh, wait a minute. Kidney shot stuns them,
and then cheap shot stuns them for 5 seconds or 1 second per time.
Oh, okay. So the way this works is after the stun,
they come out kind of.
Yeah. Right. So
we'll take that.
We'll go with that. Next one, Cheap Death.
So we're on poisons?
Cheap Death. An attack that would otherwise be fatal will instead reduce you to no lower than 10% of your max health, and damage taken will be reduced by 80% for 3 seconds. Cannot occur more than once every 90 seconds.
I really love cheat damage. That's the guy who stands in the void zones because I'm dead.
Leeching poison. Coats a weapon with poison lasts for 1 hour. I don't think poisons are going to be... I think they're going to be spells, not items.
I hope so, in the sense that you don't have to carry them. That would be nice.
Yeah, they're like a class ability where you just coat poison.
That's pretty irrelevant in the end game, but
Subsequent weapon strikes
we're on the not die.
Oh! Yeah. Subsequent strikes against the poison target will heal you for 10% of the
Right, so you get a new poison, and then improve recuperate, I'm assuming it's the same thing.
Plus your recuperate ability to restore an additional 1% and reduces the damage taken by 6 while it's back.
So since, yeah, we're definitely taking cheat damage.
Well, yeah, for rating, cheat damage.
Alright, so we're now at level 60, we're tier 4.
Yes. Alright, preparation. When activated, this ability finishes the cooldowns of Sprint, Vanish, Cloak of Shadows, Evasion, Dismantle, and Smoke Bomb. That seems a little busted.
Already an ability, and it is pretty awesome.
Like, mages have this. It's called Cold Snap.
Right.
Awesome.
But now we have Shadow Step.
Shadow Step!
Which is awesome. I like Shadow Step even in a raid situation.
It gets you right
where you want to be. For PvP, getting to be a Shadow Step combat readiness Night Stalker rogue seems disgusting.
And then Burst of Speed.
Increases movement speed by 70% for 4 seconds if you're affected by any movement parry effects. Activating this ability will instead remove all such effects.
You're not talking loudly over the thing.
Sprint Numero Dos.
Sprint Numero Dos that frees you from roots.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I take the Shadow Step here for raid. This is nice. However, Sprint and Vanish shouldn't be too relevant. Cloak of Shadows is mildly relevant. Evasion is sort of mildly relevant. I never use Dismantle, and Smoke Bomb doesn't matter. In the end.
Shadow Step.
Shadow Step in it. Alright, so we're on this level 75.
Deadly Brew. Whenever you apply an instant wound or mind-numbing poison, you also apply crippling.
That I love.
Paralytic Poison. Coats a weapon with poison lasts for 1 hour. Each strike has a chance of applying a charge of paralytic poison. Upon its 5th application, it will stun the enemy for 4 seconds.
Stupid! That is stupid!
By the way, Sinister Strike is a weapon strike.
Right.
And Dirty Tricks. Gouge and Blind no longer break from damage dealt by poison and bleed.
That's pretty cool. Do you know what Blind does?
It blinds them?
It blinds them, they wander.
Yeah.
For 10 seconds. So, if you get 5 stacks, well, let's say you're using Venom, you have 5 stacks of Deadly Poison. You have an active bleed.
I'm not.
And then you blind them. That's just 10 seconds for you to, let's say, pop recuperate, gain some life, and let them die.
Dirty Tricks is probably the PvP or Paralytic Poison.
Paralytic Poison is the pick for the end. Absolutely pick for the end game.
Really? I don't think Deadly Brew.
I like the Crippling Poison. Crippling Poison is just the one that makes the move slow. I like the full stun.
But the stun doesn't do anything to bosses.
That is relevant.
The slow actually does do something.
Okay, so maybe we go there. I think I might be overvaluing this stuff.
Now we're up to level 90.
And now things get freaky, because we have Killing Spree, Shadow Dance, and Venom.
Alright, Killing Spree for those non-rogues, including myself. Step through the shadows, still random enemy within 10 yards, dealing damage and strike and generating 5 points on that target. This ability may be activated multiple times within 5 seconds of the first activation.
They changed what Killing Spree does.
It doesn't automatically pop you around?
Killing Spree, as of now, generates no combo point. Oh my god! Alright, what Killing Spree does now, it gives you 5 strikes on surrounding targets. So if you have 5 targets, you pop Killing Spree, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have 1 target, which is how I use it as a cooldown in boss fights, where I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with low energy, and you can't use energy, you can't use effects while you're in the Killing Spree state. So you go in, when you're out of energy, you go into Killing Spree something. You gain back all that energy while you're Killing Spree, and you're getting 5 massive hits in. Your energy is back, you drain your energy again, and then you adrenaline rush. So now, instead, we're hitting a random enemy within 10 yards, healing, and damaging strike, and generating 5 combo points. So now you literally...
Wait, is this like...
You literally now go slice and dice, rupture, killing spree, eviscerate. It allows you to get all three off much more consistent.
I'm thinking like, you're just like, alright, on a boss, you're just like, killing spree, eviscerate, killing spree, eviscerate, killing spree, eviscerate.
Multiple times within 5 seconds of its first active.
You know, it's just a boss in the room, you're just like, killing spree, eviscerate, killing spree, eviscerate.
That is disgusting ability. That's what a 90 ability should be. I'm going to miss old killing spree, I'm going to love new killing spree. Let's see if I'll love new Shadow Dance more, because I feel like they changed everything.
Alright, Shadow Dance. Enter the Shadow Dance for 6 seconds, allowing the use of sap, garrote, ambush, cheap shot, premeditation, pickpocket, and disarm trap regardless of stealth.
Which is the same as it was. Probably the PvP pick. I mean, you can't get much better than Shadow Dance.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's just actually the most.
And Vendetta. Mark an enemy for death, increasing all damage you deal to the target by 20% for 15 seconds. While Vendetta is active, the rogue may deal vengeful strikes to the marked target. Vengeful strike costs 30 energy, deals 100% weapon damage, 145 with a dagger, and has a 30-yard range and generates a combo point. You literally become a caster for 15 seconds.
Right. Insane.
You're just like,
I might be too excited
about killing spree,
but I really think it's the biggest killing spree, just for the massive amount of burst damage potential. It relies a lot less on energy.
But I think the way this works is that when you pop Vendetta, it replaces Vendetta with Vengeful Strikes for that duration.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's definitely an F1 if you rebind your F keys to the... You're just like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, that's good.
No, I really like the killing spree.
Killing spree seems solid.
So now, we have a completely unique rogue. So now we have no energy cost while we're in stuff. We have an extra kick. We don't die.
So wait, you can like banish Eviscerate? Like...
No.
If you're low?
No. I mean, well...
Your points stay on the target.
Technically, Eviscerate is in your stealth bar. Which now it might be. That is very possible it ends up in the stealth bar.
Or you're just like...
I'm just more excited about just the ambush opening.
Either ambush opening,
free.
or be able to just like, mid-fight, just like banish ambush. Like, banish is now DPS cooldown.
Right, as opposed to just being secret out.
Now here's the interesting thing. If banish becomes... Now here's the reason I really love these things. Because you're thinking, alright, this is me at level 85 right now.
Right.
Banish becomes an DPS cooldown. What about preparation?
Right, then... Fuck you, Wade. Then preparation becomes very, very important.
So, okay, so... Preparation...
Now we're getting deep.
Now here's the question. How does Shadow Dance interact with Shadow Focus?
Oh, jeez.
Now, I think actually...
This doesn't stop you. It just makes...
This doesn't count you as stealth. Right. This makes the abilities not need stealth.
They have that ability to go back. So we don't... Yeah, that won't happen.
So, I mean, like... you got a lot of these abilities here that kind of focus on... Like, can you ambush twice, technically?
Yeah. If you can get part of it. So if you can go ambush, shadow step ambush, absolutely. You can even go garrote, shadow step ambush.
Because that breaks stealth, doesn't it?
You vanish.
Or with subterfuge.
No, this won't break stealth.
Shadow step does not break
stealth.
So you're just like, with subterfuge, shadow step, and then ambush.
So now we're starting to see where the choices are very dependent on the other choices. Thanks again to Chips Butsky.
Chip's a good man.
Chip's a very good man. He'll be back. So take some time, sit back, practice, and learn.
There's a fiddle in the middle, it's a middle with a fiddle, it's a middle.
What do a rogue and a noob have in common? They pick locks. Learn to play.